right, welcome into the College Football Rewind. I'm joined, as always, by my guy, Roger Schultz. Roger, how's it going, man?
Man, it's going outstanding. What are you talking about? Had a great day of college football, had some games. I mean, a lot of excitement, people getting fired today. So if you had over and under week 3 of coaches getting fired, I guess over wins because it was after week 3, technically, before week 4. So if you hit over 3 weeks, you're good. If you're under, not so bad. And it's probably a couple guys I don't know if we expected. I mean, we thought Napier would be one of them, but he is not yet.
I mean, they played LSU respectably. Their defense looked okay.
They have a DJ Lagway problem.
Yeah.
And it's, and we'll get into that. There's a lot of games, obviously, we're going to get into. A lot of things we got to talk about, of course. We'll obviously talk about the Alabama-Wisconsin game.
Let's go ahead.
Team takes care of the Big Ten.
All right, let's talk about it. Alabama, they defeat Wisconsin 38-14. And Ty Simpson, man, he has looked really good since that Florida State game. I'll tell you that. Roger, what were you seeing here in this Wisconsin game? Ryan Williams is back. He has a couple big-time touchdowns. What are your big takeaways from this game?
Well, obviously, the one thing that going into it, the question I had, can we actually get a sack? Can we get a sack this year, please? We definitely answered that question. Ryan Williams coming back, has a great game. 5 catches for 165 yards? Oh, by the way, the last game he played against Florida State, you know how many catches he had? 5. 5 for like 30 yards. So it's with I think Simpson really running that offense and 17 for 17 started the game, right? And everybody was like, okay, is he going to break the record? I guess on the third pass or something, they dropped her to hit the first pass, but real consistent, very accurate. It makes a difference when you have an accurate quarterback, right? And he's feeling confident, throwing the ball, getting protection, making the right decisions. And we said that after week 1, just, everybody pump your brakes. It's like, so with Kalen DeBoer, it's interesting, right? Because everybody's about ready to run him out on a rail after week 1. And I say, hey, just pump the brake, relax, guys. We still got talented players. They're still good coaches. Let's just relax a little bit. Maybe we hit a buzzsaw. Maybe Florida State's going to be that team at the end of the year that is undefeated. Who knows? I don't know. I don't foresee it, but you never know. But Alabama did some things and adjusted, and defense is playing a lot better. I think we had some come-to-Jesus meetings, circled the wagon, so to speak, and it all played out in Wisconsin. Early game, right? Early games are always tough. But the crowd showed up. Students were there. DeBoer, thank you, students, for showing up. But Ty Simpson doing a wonderful job. The only question I have coming out of this is somewhere along the line, we're going to have to be able to run the ball a little bit better. Somewhere along the line, we got to be able to establish the run. And I know it's not Jam Miller. Who's hurt?
Jam Miller.
Yeah, Jam Miller, I keep thinking if we still had that running back, it's up at Michigan, we might be able to.
Yeah, he's good.
Justice Haynes, we could have probably used him. We should probably paid him a little bit more to stay. But at the end of the day, Riley's doing a good job. He's running hard. And I can tell you this, whatever happened, the running back coach has definitely got those guys stonewalling those linebackers. Now, we had a kind of a little whiff in the game, but overall, the running backs are doing a good job of picking up blitzes, kind of sticking their face in the linebackers' faces, allowing, Ty Simpson to have some time. I missed a couple RPO throws. I thought Ty Simpson handed it off when he probably should have thrown it, and they probably made those adjustments. But, man, just outstanding performance offensively, defensively. That's kind of what you want to do to a team that comes down here. And, Hubbard, he was getting drilled after game 1. He is kind of, I guess, erased the demons or kind of corrected everything, and he's doing a good job. So great big win for Alabama. Now that, get arrested. It was interesting, though, when the game started off I'll go through my notes because I got –
oh, wow, okay.
I got notes. But what was interesting, so the game starts off, right, and we get Alabama's first possession. We went for it on like 4th down and didn't get it. You remember that? And it was like, so why? Let's just play field position. Just pump the ball. What is it? It's the first series, right? I don't understand, and I can't remember exactly where it was at the video, but first thing I thought was Kalen DeBoer was like, punt the ball, play field position. I just think of Coach Stallings and and everything that he used to say, hey, man, it's all about that hidden yardage. We got to win the hidden yardage. And I said, yes, sir, we need to. Punting helps you win hidden yardage. But he decided to go for it. I thought it was a little too early to kind of do that because it was at midfield. I can't exactly remember where they're at. I probably should know, but they didn't. But we were helped because Hubbard got the interception on like the next play, kind of bailed us out of that situation. So, but a lot of good things, like I said. Rousseau got a sack. That's good. The young guys played well.
There you go. Now, Roger, last week you made a pretty bold claim here on the show saying that maybe Alabama might just be better without Ryan Williams. How did his performance in this game, did that alter your kind of perspective on Ryan Williams any?
I didn't say Alabama would be better without Ryan Williams.
Oh, okay. All
but
right.
I will say this. He wasn't a distraction, though, Mike. I think he got the message. At the end of the day, the message was, hey, if you want to have all this TikTok following and do all this stuff, man, you better play, your bread's buttered playing football. You better go out there and play football. And he played football that time. He wasn't doing too much goofy stuff. He was just playing football. But let's go. He had a 75-yard flea flicker screen, which is kind of funny. But it wasn't Ryan Williams that made that play go. It was the big old fat lineman all out there blocking and hitting people. And Caden Proctor knocking a guy about 10 yards. So, yes, it's great, but he's fast enough to make it. But the Ryan Williams special is, and that's the whole thing. That's what I want to ask Alabama fans. Which Ryan Williams catch do you like better? The flea flicker screen or the nice little catch where he looked like he was in Georgia, where he stopped and just like Georgia. But what I found interesting too is like I was surprised, and I don't know if a lot of Alabama to find out that that's only his second 100-yard catching game, or it's his first 100-yard game over 100 yards since the Georgia game last year.
Yeah,
which I was a little surprised by that, but also too, I talked about him not playing in the slot. Now my point was, Ryan Williams doesn't need to play in the slot. So he did line up in a slot, but they did a switch release, which basically made him go to the outside receiver to get a matchup they wanted. That's when he caught that ball, and he did that nice little dance move and came to the inside. So they did a little switch release. They lined him up kind of like in slot, but they did a little switch release. So smart. That's smart. That's how you should use Ryan Williams.
Does the TikTok dancing give his footwork on the field any benefit, you think?
Yeah, no, 100%.
You think the dancing helps?
All of it does. All of it does. I think it helps him socially with dating. I think it helps him in the football field. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I don't really have a problem with it, outside of football season, but let's concentrate. And I think the message was received, and that was the whole point of the statement, just to make it. But look now, he did drop a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
I mean, he dropped a touchdown, surefire. So it's interesting. So Ty Simpson has this great game, right? And I forget exactly what his numbers were, but
let's see. I got him right here. He was
he's over 80%, right? Or something.
Yeah, so he was 24 of 29 for 382 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah, it should have been 5 because Ryan Williams should have caught that ball over. I guess he gets a little nervous over the middle. That's looking to be the case. But that ball was thrown right on. So Ty Simpson's last 2 passes were drop balls where it hit the receiver in the best possible place you could hit him. It was right in the hands in the center of their chest. Yeah. Ryan Williams and then Brooks, the receiver, missed the ball. So his last 2 passes were incompletions. So that should have been caught. But I also don't understand why he was in there in that last part of I think it was 10 minutes to go in the game. I don't know why they put him back out there then anyway. I thought they should have put the other quarterback. So
who knows? Go ahead and get him some more reps against a Power 4 team before they got the bye week coming up. Then they're going to be taking on Georgia. And speaking of Georgia, they had a big time game. The College Game Day crew was in Knoxville, and Georgia extends their win streak over Tennessee to 9 games, defeating them in overtime 44-41. I feel bad for the Tennessee kicker, man. He could have put it away. He shanked that ball so bad there at the end of regulation. But Roger, just let me hear your takeaways there. Kirby Smart and company. I mean, it looked rough to begin. I had everyone text, Stephen Root. He was texting me. He's a Georgia fan. oh man, we're horrible. And then 15 minutes later, hey, we're not horrible. What did you think about that game?
Well, first of all, I thought the difference is how coaches make adjustments at halftime. And Kirby Smart is very good at making adjustments at halftime, right? I mean, obviously they did a good job. They were behind the whole game, but it's like that every time they play Tennessee. And Josh Heupel against Georgia always kind of starts off hot and then fades away. And the part of that is because Kirby Smart, the defensive staff, all those guys end up making adjustments to the game, and that's what they did. Gunnar Stockton, first big road test. I thought was poised, not dominant, but did a good job, kind of leaned on their defense. Joey Aguilar, I thought was outstanding. And who's a receiver? Chris Braswell, the second, 6 for 177. Man, 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
He's going to be tough. But and then they have Tennessee has a chance to kick this field goal, right?
Yep.
Do you think Heupel made a mistake? So Heupel came back. They had a timeout. I guess Georgia called a timeout, and then Heupel wanted to run a play, right? To, I guess, get the ball more in the middle of the field. But remember, there was a penalty. It's a 5-yard penalty. They had to back it up. And I think that kind of screwed. I think if Heupel and them would have just went out there and just tried to kick the field goal after that timeout, it was only 7 seconds in the game. It wasn't that much time, just kick the field goal then. Maybe that would have made a difference. I don't know. But, hey, it goes into overtime. They kick a field goal, and then Georgia gets it and just run. I mean, first play is a great run. But the key drive in that Georgia-Tennessee game, Georgia was down, I think it was like 21-17, starts the second half, right? They go 14. This is coming out of halftime. I'm talking about halftime adjustments. They go 14 plays, 75 yards, and get a touchdown and go up 24-21. I thought that was huge. That was a huge drive in the game. But the biggest play in that game was 38-30, 6:40 left. UGA converts a 4th and 6. I mean, I'm sitting there going, Kirby, what are you doing going for? Just kick the field goal. It'd still be 38-33. You still got a chance to go. But they get the touchdown to Landon Humphreys, where Gunnar Stockton just floated that ball in there like a feather. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch. And that to me is the difference in that game. And, of course, they made the 2-point play afterwards. I think Branch caught they had like a little pivot route, and they made a good play on that. So I thought that was really I thought that was outstanding too.
So moving forward, Georgia, I think that was great performance by them, obviously proving that they can dig deep. But we know that Kirby Smart, he's one of the, if not the best coach in all of college football. But I think to see this new regime with Gunnar Stockton and then be able to pull off, one of these Kirby Smart style victories was very impressive. And then I think, for Tennessee fans too, to stay in that game like you did. I mean, if that guy doesn't miss that field goal, the narrative is completely shifted. I think that for Tennessee, I mean, they should.
Well, yeah, Tennessee shouldn't hang their head at all, right? Tennessee may get an opportunity to play them again, right? I mean, there's a lot of football to be played, but Tennessee doesn't have anything to be upset about. Look, they make that field goal at the end of the game. It's a whole different narrative, right? And then we're wondering what's going on with the Georgia Bulldogs and Kirby Smart. But, hey, it just kind of worked out the way it's always worked out the last 9 years. Georgia beats Tennessee. And but I think there's a lot of things to be happy about Tennessee. I don't think you hang your head and throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think they're pretty confident in what they're doing. And definitely I think with Joey Aguilar and, of course, the receiver, Brazel, that did really well. I think there's a lot of good that Tennessee's did. So they'll be fine.
Well, look, at the beginning of the season, Roger, you and I, we made our college football playoff predictions. We both had Clemson there in the championship game. I had Clemson winning. So that isn't probably going to pan out as right as we wanted to. But you had Georgia Tech in the playoffs. Georgia Tech 3-0, upsetting Clemson there 24-21. Roger, what's going on with your guy Dabo? And, man, how special is Haynes King?
Man, well, Haynes, there's 2 quarterbacks in this whole country that I would put in the same category. Haynes King and Diego Pavia. I mean, they're like the same guy, right? And when is Cade Klubnik going to kind of step up? Like everybody, I think everybody gave Clemson such a praise because they felt like Dabo had this turnaround and people went and watched practice and they go, man, have you seen that defense? Well, that defense against Clemson's offense now doesn't look so great, right? I mean, or Clemson's offense doesn't look, and Cade Klubnik really hasn't been really inconsistent, 2 for 207 yards, had 2 TDs, 2 turnovers, costly turnovers, of course. It's interesting, too, because Brent Key, Georgia Tech 7-1 versus ranked ACC opponents under Brent Key. I mean, that's pretty impressive. But Haynes King, 216 yards, 103 yards rushing, tough yards. But I tell you, man, I was getting a little nervous when they're getting to get ready to kick that game-winning field goal. And I thought, what are they doing? They're wasting too much time. I thought they were slow playing it too much. Like, I know they didn't want to give Clemson much time, but I'm like, dude, get a little closer. Get a little closer. And, of course, a 55 – I think they may have had a penalty to back it up, but a 55-yard Aiden Burr field goal wins it for Georgia Tech. They swarm the field, and it's just they play – Georgia Tech plays like their coach, tough, no nonsense, just kind of get after it. And Haynes King is just one of those guys that just wins. So, Georgia Tech didn't sneak up, man. They stormed the gates. So.
That's right. Well, now look, so Clemson, they're what, 1-2 now, 0-1 in the ACC. I mean, there's still a chance they could win out, be 10-2, and go to the ACC championship game, and things could still be looking up. But based off how we've seen Clemson, they just have not looked that impressive. They almost lost to Troy last week. Is it time that we kind of just say, hey, Dabo, Clemson, this just isn't the year?
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of – I've read a lot of stories today about people like, what's going on with Clemson? Is it time? They don't – obviously, Dabo's not going to go anywhere, right? But do they need to kind of have a change and kind of embrace – and the point was kind of brought up too. Now that, Dabo's had success, he won a couple national championships, he's getting paid a lot of money, he's got security, he's got this. Back in the day when he was a new coach, he probably took some chances, right? He gambled. He went to the and look, one of their best players is the guy they got out of the portal, kid from Purdue. This the defensive end that had like a couple sacks yesterday. Heck, I think's his name. I mean, he came out of the portal. So I think Dabo is going to just kind of have to reevaluate how he does things and move on, make the next step.
But I mean, like Clemson, they went to the playoffs last year. They looked good last year, and they didn't lose that much talent. They kept a lot of people. You just thought they were going to take another step up, and it looks like they're just taking a step down.
They're taking the same step. Well, they didn't get blown out by LSU. They didn't get blown out by Georgia Tech. There's opportunities in those games. They could have won both of ththose games, and they'd be sitting here 3-0, and we'd be going, hey, they could still win the ACC. I think they have to play Florida State in Clemson. And I mean, that's going to be a tough out for Florida State. And Clemson may get things right. They've got a lot of things that they got to get they just got to work on some things, but they're still, at the end of the day, they could still be there, just like they did last year. Nobody expected them to get in the playoffs last year. Nobody. And they did. So, yeah. I mean, it's just, it's just something's got to change. I don't know, but they'll play it out. They'll win the ACC. They'll go to the playoffs, and then everything will kind of be.
Who's going to win the ACC? You said Clemson?
Yeah.
No.
Possibly, yeah.
No. It's Georgia Tech or Miami, I think.
Well, I tell
Miami,
you what,
they took care of the darling, right? USF that everybody was really excited about.
Yeah. Carson Beck, man, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns.
It looks good.
Man, they look playoff ready. And, of course, poor UCF Cinderella run, kind of done. I mean, they beat Florida, Boise State, and just couldn't handle Miami's tempo. And, man, Miami, 49-12. I mean, who would have thought it? So, had some good people step up, too. Malachi Tony's a true freshman receiver, stepped up. And then had C.J. Davis, who's a 6-year transfer. So, they had a combination from a young guy and an old guy.
Yeah. So, well, look, I asked you, is Clemson done, or can we rule them out? I don't think so just yet because they are in the ACC. But one team that, I don't know, maybe we should rule them out is Notre Dame. They've started the season 0-2, now losing some tight games, right? One there to Miami to kick off the season, and then a last-second touchdown there by Texas A&M defeating Notre Dame on Saturday, 41-40. But, I mean, when you look at the rest of Notre Dame's schedule, not a lot of heavy hitters. So whenever the College Football Playoff Committee goes and looks, I mean, best case scenario, they go 10-2, and I don't know if you go 10-2 and your 2 losses are to the only 2 ranked teams that you played, this might be a lost year for Notre Dame.
Well, it depends how those 2 lost teams do. If Texas A&M goes on and wins the Southeastern Conference and Miami wins the ACC and both of those teams are in the playoffs, then Notre Dame has if they can win out, which they would have, they most likely would have to win out. And their schedule's weak as pond water. But I think don't they play Clemson? Do they play Clemson this year? I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like.
I know they have Notre Dame. Let's see. So their next game, they're hosting Purdue.
Yeah.
Then they go to Arkansas. That's not a
Notre Dame plays Arkansas?
Yeah, at Arkansas, September 27th. They host Boise State. They host NC State. They host USC. They go to Pittsburgh, go to Boston College, host Navy, Syracuse, Stanford. They might lose to Arkansas, man. Arkansas?
Let me tell you.
Arkansas didn't look too bad against Ole Miss there.
No, hey, I think I called the upset in that. I called the upset in that game. But, I mean, at Trinidad, the quarterback that came in for Mississippi, man, he was phenomenal. What's it? Trinidad. What's his last name? Cummings? Something like that. But, yeah, he was phenomenal. And Trinidad Chambliss, 350 yards, 62. But he's a winner, right? He was on a national championship team, even though it was division. And I can't stand when they go, well, he was at a Division II school, Ferris State. He played in front of 6,000 folks, and now he's playing in front of 80,000 folks. Well, you know what? The field's the same size. Yeah. You're going against the same number of people. I mean, yeah, that could be it. But if you're in your home field, that ought to be a good thing. But yeah, but Arkansas's I'm telling you, man, Arkansas is a good football team right there till the end. They didn't turn the ball over till the end when they Ole Miss ripped the ball out. They were going right down the field. So it was going to be an interesting game. Now they may have went to overtime and I don't know, but it was going to be an interesting game. Pittman's done a really good job. That's a good football. Arkansas is a tough out. Arkansas is going to be a tough out. And I kind of say that too, because I kind of look at, so Petrino, is the offensive coordinator at Arkansas. Well, guess who's the offensive coordinator at South Alabama?
Oh, the other Petrino, right?
Paul Petrino. Yeah. Yes. And he did
South looked pretty good there against Auburn. They should be proud of themselves. I think they had more first downs, higher third down conversion rate. Yardage was right there about the same.
I would think if I'm Auburn, I would be a little bit worried about what this season's good. But I think South is a good – look, South should have beaten – if they make the 2-point play against Tulane, they go to overtime or whatever, but they missed it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they went fisticuffs with Tulane, who's supposed to be the golden child of the G5, right? I mean, Tulane. Well, South is right there. South is a very good football team. South looks a lot different than they looked last year because I watched some of that game, and I was flipping back. I actually had watched both of them. I had to do 2 TVs, but it was hard.
Their run defense for South, they just can't handle big time teams. I mean, it felt like when they handed it off, it was 7 yards, 7 yards, 7 yards every single time, right up the middle, halfback dive. But I mean, their passing defense looked great. They really held Jackson Arnold to just very pedestrian.
That's my other point coming out of this game. Jackson Arnold can't throw the football. Auburn's in trouble. Auburn's going to be in trouble because they're going to play some of these SEC defenses that guess what they can do? They'll shut down the run. They will 100% shut down. What happened to Oklahoma last year? Shut down the run of Jackson Arnold, let him beat you with his arm, and guess what? Okay, he couldn't do it because he didn't have receivers I understand all that, and Auburn has some of the greatest receivers that's ever walked planet Earth from what I've been told. So we'll see, but we're going to find out how good they are because I guarantee you this, if an SEC team, that's their game plan, and they're going to play Oklahoma. I mean, that's coming up this week, man. How crazy is that? I can't wait till that game. I mean, that's going to be a good game.
Well, Roger, give me like a biggest winner of the weekend. Who won the weekend here in week 3 of college football?
Obviously, I think Georgia. I think Texas A&M, Georgia Tech. Those are some of my big winners. What about West Virginia beating Pitt in the backyard brawl?
Okay, yeah.
Rich Rodriguez going back. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw they just extended that series to 2033. So we'll be getting
Yeah.
that a lot moving forward.
Another big winner. What about our boy Kirk Ferentz? He has the most wins, Big Ten wins for a coach in the Big Ten. So he ended up going past Woody Hayes. Woody Hayes had 205, and Kirk Ferentz now has 206. And they actually scored. They scored over 40 points. I think they scored like 49 points. So would have to give it to them. I think Ryan Williams, great comeback this week. I think he'd have to be considered one of the winners this week. Hey, catch the touchdown pass in the end zone, though, please. Let's work. Let's work on that.
If he can get it in the Georgia game here in 2 weeks, I think we'll all be.
Right. Well, look, happy. The Georgia game made him a superstar. Look, everything that Ryan Williams has is how he played in that game last year, right? And so it's going to be. And I'll tell you another thing from the weekend. If you don't think special teams makes a difference, right? They make a difference. So talking about special teams, let's go back. Let's look at some ex-Alabama quarterbacks. So you had Dylan Lonergan at BC throwing dimes. I didn't finish watching that game, but when I shut it off, it was in the first half, and I think he'd thrown for like 230 yards and was doing outstanding. Pitt, Eli Holston, right? Former Bama. He took an L, but he played well. And then who's our guy at Notre Dame? Tyler Buckner. You remember Tyler Buckner started against South Florida? You remember that?
Yeah.
Tyler Buckner.
I thought he went to play lacrosse.
No, he's the holder for the kicker. He fumbled the ball. That's how Texas A&M was able to. They missed the extra point. Tyler Buckner. I mean, they showed him, and they kept. He had like a yellow coverall on, then he went to a red coverall, then he then he put on a Texas A&M shirt, and it still didn't make a difference. Poor Buckner.
So is he our big loser? Is he our big loser from the college football?
Oh, I think he's got to be. Hey, but Alabama gave up a kick return too. After our flea flicker screen pass, They come back and give up a kick return. I think everybody forgets about that. But special teams is important. Ask Tennessee kicker.
Yep. That was just such a shank of a kick.
No, it was bad. Like it was just
like right when it left him, right when he was rearing up his leg. I think he knew he missed it.
I've seen movies where they kicked it better than that. I mean, you get the story of the guy that shanks the kick in a movie. It's, they hit the mascot or whatever.
Yeah, that was like Brucey, I think was his name from The Longest Yard, the kicker they had there.
Oh, yeah. Like Gus the Kicking Mule or whatever. I think he hit a mascot or something. But, man, it was tough. It was tough. But hey, we haven't talked really about LSU and Florida.
No, we have. You saw that Brian Kelly, he was getting a little pissy there in the post game.
I love it. Brian, there's something about Brian Kelly. God bless him. I mean, really, God bless him. I like the way he fights. He's all mad. He's cussing. Because he asked him a question. He goes, what are you going to do about your running game? Well, didn't you see what we just did? We ran the ball on the last play and secured the game. It's like, he's happy. He goes, hey, look, at the end of it, and he made a great point, right? Hey, look, man. We're here to win. We won. Let's leave it at that. I mean, we're not going to play perfect. At the end of the day, teams aren't going to play perfect. You just got to get the win, whichever way possible. Same with Georgia. Does Georgia got things they got to clean up? Yes. Alabama week 1 against Florida State. Didn't look good. Got a lot of things to clean up and fix, but we're still a pretty good football team. Of course, Florida State and Alabama didn't win, but Georgia won. LSU won. And Florida, DJ Lagway. Well, that last interception, so he's sitting at 4 interceptions, right? Then he throws that last interception. And that was terrible. I don't know what he was doing. I know the announcer tried to say he was probably trying to throw it out of bounds, but I think he just wanted to tie a record. He wanted to have the second most interceptions thrown in a game at Florida. He ties Shane Matthews from 1992, who had 5 interceptions. But that's not even the record at Florida. And I don't know if DJ Lagway is going to get there. They may run him out of town if he does. But John Reeves, who was a longtime coach in college football and all that, set an NCAA record, 9 interceptions in 1969 against Auburn. So, there's something he can shoot for. But It's DJ.
So how was everyone so wrong on DJ Lagway? I feel like that was the only reason Florida was ranked. They got this, top 5 quarterback in all of college football, and then he goes out and he plays like that. I mean, even if you're a so-so quarterback, you should never throw 5 picks in a game.
It was bad. I think he was it was just bad. I mean, he missed a lot of throws. I mean, missed a lot of throws. And I think the thing too is you got to remember he was injured, right? He had surgery. Like, they kind of talked about, hey, this is really his first really live action because he hadn't been with the team because he was, he's hurt during the summer. Rehabbing some injury or whatever. So I don't know how we all bought into it, but it's no worse than us buying into Manning, Arch Manning. I mean, that is you talk. I watched that game. I was like, my God, that poor kid is. So he's either he's hurt, and if he's hurt, they should not be playing him. That's why I don't think he's hurt, because I think everybody's smart enough know not to play him. And if he is just that bad, then you know who the biggest loser is? High school quarterback evaluators who give 5 stars out. Because DJ Lagway's a 5-star guy, right? And Manning's a 5-star guy. And then the quarterback at UTEP was a 5-star guy. Malachi, somebody that played, I think, at USC and went to Oregon or whatever. Now he's at UTEP. He's a 5-star guy. He's played, but man, Arch Manning. Whew. I think that's one of my biggest surprises. I was like, there's something, I don't know what. It was a terrible.
I know this was supposed to be the best draft class coming up here for quarterbacks with Cade Klubnik and Arch Manning. That none of them look that good. No. Even Nussmeier, I mean, he looks okay.
Nussmeier's always been okay. He's pedestrian. I mean, he can win you some games. He's done that. I mean, he's a good quarterback. But where is that? Most impressive quarterback I saw yesterday was the quarterback at Ole Miss. I mean, that guy's a winner.
He's a backup.
Trinidad Chambliss, yeah. Well, he might not be a backup for long. That guy can run and throw. I mean, he was, but he's a champion, right? He's won a national championship. So, Ty Simpson. Look, in the NFL, the number one thing is you got to be accurate, and he's accurate. I mean,
all of a sudden, Ty Simpson looks like one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
He's been around. He's DJ Lagway's young, right? Then you got Arch Manning, who's just been sitting around not playing. And it kind of lends to the argument, too, as everybody said, if Arch Manning was so phenomenal, how could he not beat out Quinn Ewers? Yeah. Now that looks like a legitimate question, right? Like, what is, and he's still young as far as games played, just like DJ Lagway. Just all these expectations on these kids. They don't sit around develop. They just kind of throw them that's what happens in the NFL all the time. They draft these bad teams, draft these quarterbacks, and they just never kind of – I mean, Jared Goff was considered a bad quarterback with the Rams. Right now he's with the Lions, and he's really proved – through time he's proven to be a pretty good quarterback. Like
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, there's a lot of those guys that don't make it back, but then there's a lot of them just fall the wayside. Who was the quarterback that played at Auburn, played at Liberty for Hugh Freeze, and then went to the Tennessee Titans, and then he ended up at the Green Bay Packers, and he may be a backup up there. But
Malik Willis, backup
and
for Jordan Love.
Yeah, Levis. I mean, Tennessee Titans draft a quarterback every. They get the first pick.
Hey, Cam Ward looks special though. He was making some special plays.
But he's a guy that was a guy that was around. That's been around, stayed a long time.
Yeah.
I think expectations on him. He was a zero prospect.
Yeah, I think sometimes a player's greatness, and I think it's very rare, can outshine even how horrific the organization is around them.
Yeah.
And I think Cam Ward, he looks special. He seems like a baller. He seems like he's really locked in all the time. I think it'll all work out for him. Now, will he be a Titan forever? I don't know, but he's a starting quarterback. I mean, look at Daniel Jones with New York, and now he's over there at the Colts looking great. So
yeah, I mean, the guys just need chances into systems. Right. I mean, Arnold Darnell is they totally wrote that guy. Now everybody wants him. I mean, they're just pump the brakes. But like some of these young quarterbacks, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, Ty Simpson's look as good as anybody I've seen. I mean, even the quarterback at Tennessee. I mean, he looks good. I mean, and Gunnar Stockton's he looks like Baker Mayfield to me. But But the best quarterback.
Let's calm it down a little bit.
Huh?
Let's not call Gunnar Stockton Baker Mayfield. Mayfield was amazing.
Because I think the way he's built.
Okay. I see. He physically looks like Baker Mayfield. I got you.
Physically. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me preface it. Hey, by the way,
game nothing the same, but he looks like him. I got you.
Hey, by the way, big shout out to Vandy taking care of South Carolina, and I mean, what was it? 31-7. I mean, you talk about.
Vanderbilt is here. They're not the little engine that could anymore.
No.
Now they are just a freight train.
Well, it's interesting. We get all these people start talking about what coach should we get next. Like UCLA's got their job open, right? Virginia Tech's got their job open. And, of course, I'm sure they would love to have Shane Beamer, right? But at the end of the day, Clark Lee, the coach at Vanderbilt, are you kidding me? Why?
Coach of the year.
I mean,
it has to be.
That's a guy I would get. I mean, but this Pavia guy's as tough as nails, right? I mean, he's just unbelievable. And I just like watching Vandy play.
I mean, their defense held Lenore Sellers, who's supposed to be a top quarterback coming out. They held 7 points.
Well, of course, he was lost in the game. He supposedly got a head injury. And when you saw it, I mean, as soon as he went out of the game, man, it just like the air went out of sails for.
Oh yeah, there was no chance after.
But But when I look at the hit, it wasn't that bad. Like, I don't understand, unless something else hurt on him or something. I don't know. I don't know why it was so bad. It didn't seem that bad, but
maybe he was speaking Chinese and he couldn't count to 10 or something. And they're like, hey, we can't put this guy back in here.
I don't understand. But hey, kudos to Vanderbilt. That's obviously one of the big winners of the week.
Oh, sure.
I think Ryan Williams, as far as a player, kind of having a coming out party or coming,
bounce back.
Yeah, good bounce. That's it. Good bounce back. Good bounce back for Ryan Williams. It's good to see. They used him right. And what's interesting, too, I think about Alabama is you look at the plethora of receivers that keep catching balls is pretty amazing. That they're getting them involved, and that just means you got a quarterback that's seeing things and getting the ball to the guy that's open. I mean,
Alabama's figuring it out, man. I'm going to be interested to see what the line is for that Georgia game coming up here in 2 weeks because I think that's a coin toss.
Well,
even though Georgia just beat Tennessee is in such magnificent fashion, Alabama looks like, if you didn't watch that week 1 game, and maybe that's not fair to say, but you would think Alabama is one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, they are. But at the end of the day, they are. It just things happen, right? You have games like this. But the thing that makes me nervous is DeBoer going on the road in a hostile environment doesn't work out too well.
That's true. Saying, 9-1 at home and 4-5 on the road or something like that.
Yeah, it's not good. That's all. But so so we'll see what happens there. That just makes me know. But Alabama's good enough to. I mean, Alabama's good enough to beat Georgia. I mean, they're good enough to beat anybody on their schedule, which is a lot of ranked teams ahead of them, by the way, which can get you into the playoffs. So
that's right. Well, Roger, man, look, next week we're not going to have any.
Week 3.
We're not going to have any Alabama to talk about
see what
next week.
It goes from here. UCLA, that pitiful, man.
Yeah.
What's sad is to see the Rose Bowl and to see like a high school game in Alabama gets more people in it. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh gosh, UCLA. How about UCLA? 0-3 for Nico Iamaleava. He's horrible. That I just don't understand how that really worked out that way. That feels just like karma saying, "Hey, don't do this ever again, any player." Just this isn't the NFL. We're not doing holdouts. This is how this can pan out.
Yeah, you think you got leverage? Yeah, we'll see about that. So
that's right.
And it just
Roger, man.
I'm glad Tennessee made that decision too. So good.
For sure. Well, Roger, man, look, no Bama next week, but a lot of fun matchups. I'm excited to be back with you and break down week 4 of the college football season on our next edition.
Hey, Oklahoma Auburn.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be exciting. The Jackson Arnold revenge game or the Brent Venables revenge game. I don't know.
It's going to be Oklahoma's playing good. So we'll see.
All right. Well, Roger, I'll holler at you, man. Take it easy.
All right, man. See ya.